Maayong adlaw, welcome once again to our devotional series on First John. Nindot kaya itong topic diri sa First John. We're studying the marks of a true Christian, mga timailhan sa tinuod nga Kristohanon. We are in chapter 4 now. We'll be reading verses 7 to 12 today. John says, Beloved, agapetos, my dear loved ones, my dear friends, let us love one another. By now, you're very familiar. This is the command of God and the command of John here in this letter nga as brothers and sisters in the Lord, let's love one another. Why? For love is from God. God is the source, that's the word from. God is the source of love. You cannot truly love without God, and because we have God now in our lives, we can now love. We are now able and capable to love. John says, Whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. If you truly know God, if you're truly born again, then you can love and you have to love. Ang absence sa love sa imong kinabuhi is a question if kanang murag questionable ang imong pagkakristohanon if love is absent. So if you love now, then it's one of the evidence that you've been born again and you know God. And verse 8, anyone who does not love does not know God. Why? Because God is love. Look at that. Dili siya love is God. No, love is not God. You cannot worship love, but God is love. This is his attribute. That's his very nature and very character, that God is the source of love. He's full of love. He's 100% love. And he is the source and supplier of love to each Christian because God is love. And if you don't love, then you don't know God. That's exactly ang gisulti ni John sa previous verse, verse 9. And in this, the love of God was made manifest among us. In what way nga ang love ni God or ang love ni God sa katawhan, yun sa manya pagpakita, He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, His one and only, His unique, one of a kind Son, Jesus Christ, iyang gipadala. And again, this is related to God's love in action. He showed his love into the world so that in what I don't know what's the purpose, with the purpose that we might live through him. We live our lives through God. We are now able to love because God is with us. God is in us, and we can only love through him. Verse 10, in this is love. What is love? How do you define love? Not that we have loved God, but that he loved us. The measure and the definition of love is not based on what we do for God. It's based on what God has done for us. God loved us. That's love. And we are able lang to love because God is already with us and in us, teaching and giving us the ability to love. God loved us, and in this love, He sent His Son to be the propitiation, to be the sacrifice, the atonement for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we also ought to love one another because God loved us. And we have experienced this love. Atong gi-receive ni nga love. And this love is very real in our lives. Mo ni naghatag natong fuel and motivation and source and power. We can also love one another. Therefore, we have to love one another. Verse 12, no one has ever seen God. Yes, no one. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, God abides in us. God stays in us. God dwells and lives in us. And his love is perfected in us. And that will what people see in us. They don't see God. Sila kita sa Ginoo, but if they see brothers and sisters and churches and community of believers loving one another, then makita pud nila si God because God lives in that community, in that fellowship where love is perfected, where love is demonstrated, where love is obeyed and fulfilled. That, my friends, is perfect demonstration of love. God is loved, He loved us. Therefore, we must also love. Let's love one another.